Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here today for this WESIS webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about mobilizing your community college students, utilizing the Cyber FastTrack and in your coursework and get them inspired, empowered, and ready to rock and roll in their coursework and their cybersecurity studies so they could increase themselves, level up themselves, and expand and grow into the cybersecurity career that your students are seeking to achieve. My name is Lynn Dome. I'm Women in Cybersecurity Executive Director. We often go by our acronym WESIS, W-I-C-Y-S, and we pronounce that WESIS like we sisters because we are a cyber sisterhood. So our mission is to recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity. Before I do a little overview of the WESIS organization, I'd like to hand it over to my colleagues, Kate and Haya, for them to introduce themselves, and then we'll start diving into the topic at hand. So Haya, can you kindly introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Haya Arfat. I'm the Scholarship Assistance Director for the National Cyber Scholarship Foundation. And I'm here today with my colleague, Kate.
And I am Kate Strauss, so glad to be with you guys. I am Program Director of the National Cyber Scholarship Foundation. We'll talk a little about what it is in a bit, but we are delighted to have contact, thanks to Lynn, with you all and to talk a little bit about the important role we see community colleges having in the cyber talent shortage and building it up.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kate, and thank you, Haya, for being here today. So for everyone that's joining the call, the National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation has funded some significant programs within the WESIS organization. But this one is new to us, and it's new to them as well. And it's based around community college faculty and what your needs are to mobilize your students. So a little bit about the WESIS org, and I'm just going to share my slides, is that we have over 5,600 members with representation in over 70 countries. Our community comprises of women, men, allies, and advocates that all have a strong mission and passion to recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity because we're all hands on deck. We know we're at a critical workforce shortage, and in order to fill the 3.5 million unfilled jobs right now, that we need all sorts of different areas to engage and mobilize those to join the cybersecurity workforce and make the impact that we need. So for WESIS, we have many different initiatives. We have an online member forum, we have skill development training programs, some of which National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation has funded. Others have been funded by Google, AWS, Meta, Bloomberg, SANS Institute, Target, and so many others. We have newsletters, webinar series, scholarship grants and awards, not only for our conference, which will be, the next one will be March 16th through the 18th at the Gaylord Rockies in Denver, Colorado, but we also give out scholarship grants and awards to other conferences as well. We have a Cyber Talent Emergency Fund for you faculty to know. Share this, please, with your students, is that WESIS has a Cyber Talent Emergency Fund where any student within their last 4 semesters of graduating from their cybersecurity program can apply and receive up to $599 for financial emergencies. And these financial emergencies can be their car breaks down and they can't get to their classes. They can't afford their rent that month. I mean, things happen, and we don't want anything to derail our students from receiving and completing their cybersecurity studies. My goodness gracious, the workforce needs them. We have speaking and media opportunities so our members can be what others can see, and that's the cybersecurity professionals that they are. Our Job Board Plus Plus is a place where we get all our members recruited from, and we have apprenticeships, internships, market research, leadership summits, leadership series, leadership workshops. We have veteran and military spouse assistance program, a speakers bureau, a mentor-mentee program, all that and so much more. So we owe that all thanks to our strategic partners, and you can see them here. And they're the ones that are the foundation of all things WESIS, so we appreciate their support. So today's session is extremely informal, informational session about the why, the how of this Mobilize program that we put together thanks to National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation. Also a little bit of information about Cyber FastTrack, and then we're here to answer any questions that you have. So at the bottom of your screen, you see a little chat box that you could put your questions in there. We will answer them live at the end of the session, and we'll take the conversation from there. So if you're joining and you haven't done so already, we would love for you to be a member of the WSIS organization, to subscribe to our newsletter, and to never miss a beat of all things WSIS. So here we are. We had this Mobilize program. How did it come into existence? Is because we decided to put together a request for proposals out to our community. I met with Kate from National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation. She says, let's build a program for community colleges and utilizing the Cyber FastTrack. What are their needs are? Well, WSIS has a lot of community college members and faculty, and industry professionals were part of, government and everything is involved with WSIS. So we have a lot of members that would readily be excited and actively engaged in this program. But we don't know what we don't know, and we don't know what your needs are. All we know right now at this time is that we have Cyber FastTrack, we have National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation that's willing to fund programs to help mobilize and inspire, empower their students to get more engaged. And we just need to know from the faculty, what are your needs in order to kind of institutionalize this into your coursework and to get your students to get more involved. And so that's why we opened up the request for proposals. The requests for proposals are available until July 8th, and it's all on our website. If you go to wicis.org, wicis.org, and see that drop down under initiatives, you'll be able to see the Mobilize program that's right there. So that's the WSIS portion of this. And right now I'd like to take a moment to hand it over to Kate, for Kate to talk through the National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation portion of this, and the how and the why, and how did this all come about? So Kate, take it away.
Let's do the short version for everybody. We all know that there is a great shortage of cybersecurity professionals in the country. For a long time, corporations thought everybody needed to have a 4-year degree. And what they now know is that community college is a terrific pathway for kids who have aptitude, interest, and know-how to get to employment. And the National Cyber Scholarship Foundation has funded a game, which you're going to hear more about from Haya, called Cyber FastTrack, that is both fun and engaging and assesses aptitude. We had 50,000 high school and college kids go through it this year. We're expecting to double next year. We provide it free. The foundation provides it free to any high school or college student who wants to give it a try. All the learning is embedded in the program, so you don't have to be a computer science teacher for kids to do well. We've just done an evaluation. We find that kids who like music and play music have an incredible aptitude for this. They're some of our best through this year. We for students who like it, there are scholarships. There are scholarships for advanced training. There are good jobs and certifications that we will provide, the certification that employers want. If they do well through the game, we have an application, a short form that they're interested in further training, and we will take them and put them through what's a very rigorous training program and let them and pay for them to get a certification, and they have great employment for the rest of their lives. What I wanted to say, and I'm just going to read a little bit, what we're after with this RFP and you guys is to raise the visibility of the program with your students and community college students across the country. And this pilot that we're trying with you, thanks very much to Lynn, is for us to understand the challenges, the opportunities, and the must-haves for us to achieve that goal. We'd love to see this thing spread through community college, but we need you to try it and tell us how we can make it grow faster and better for your kids. So I think that's about the short form spiel. Thanks, Lynn.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kate. That was perfect. That's exactly it. Is that, we need to have this piloted program in place to see what the needs are so we could grow and expand different programming efforts moving forward to align with exactly the needs of the community colleges right now. So with that, I'd like to hand it on over to Haya for her to do just a real brief. I know we've done lots. WESIS has done a lot of programming with Cyber FastTrack. We've done lots of webinars. Haya and I have worked together for the past 2 years doing webinars and programming efforts within WESIS utilizing Cyber FastTrack. So a lot of folks that are joining might already know about it. But Haya's going to do a brief overview about Cyber FastTrack, what it's all about, and the game-like environment, the learning experience that comes from the opportunities that lie ahead because of it. So Haya, we'll just have you take it from here.
Yes. Okay. Let me just get my slides up real quick. So Cyber FastTrack, like Kate mentioned, is a free online scholarship program created by the experts at the SANS Institute that gives U.S. college students and high school students the opportunity to earn up to $21,000 worth of certified professional cybersecurity training to make their resumes more desirable for employers. So what is Cyber FastTrack? So Cyber FastTrack is a program where students do not need any prior experience coming in. Our whole goal here is to make the barrier to entry as low as possible. And so you don't need any prior experience with programming, computer science, or cybersecurity to get started. In the Cyber FastTrack program, students first play Cert game where they will learn about cybersecurity. And if they perform well, they can earn up to $21,000 worth of SANS training and the GIAC and GFAC certifications that come along with that. So what is the actual game? Cert game is a gamified learning platform that is made up of hundreds of interactive challenges and labs that teach students in a hands-on environment, and they teach them using real-world scenarios that take very complex topics and make them accessible and engaging and immerse them in real-world cybersecurity challenges. Cert game starts off very, very easy. It starts off with the basics. So anyone that has no experience with cybersecurity or even programming can start from the very beginning, and it goes very advanced. We have been doing this with colleges across the US, and I've seen people who have been doing CTFs and other cybersecurity programs for a few years now, and even they have so much to learn from this because it truly gets very advanced once you work your way to the higher up levels. So all college students and high school students in the US can get free access to Cert game through our programs at NCSF. Usually you would have to buy a license for Cert, but because of our program, students can have free access to this gamified learning platform. And this is how I got my start from cybersecurity. I was lucky enough that in junior year of high school, I got to do a program called Girls Go Cert that SANS was putting on. And so I got to play Cert game, and it was my very first exposure to cybersecurity. I was already interested in computer science and programming coming in, but I knew I didn't really want to be a software developer, and I was still trying to find my niche within computer science. And so Cert game really helped me find my passion, and it was the perfect way for me to launch my career essentially in cybersecurity. So ever since I've done this game, I've been able to find internships, and I've looked for colleges that have cybersecurity programs, and it's really helped get me to where I am today. So Cert game is basically broken down into three bases. Headquarters teaches students the general concepts of cybersecurity. So things like cryptography, social engineering, scripting, binary exploitation, and whatnot. The Moonbase actually teaches students Python from scratch. And once they master the basics of Python, it teaches them how you would apply that in a cybersecurity setting. So like, how would you write a little script that would crack the password for a file and whatnot? The forensics base, which is my personal favorite, actually teaches them about like computer forensics and the kind of like forensics you'd be doing for cybersecurity. So network forensics, steganography, log analysis, and much, much more. CyberStart lets students work together in groups and learn from each other. And we provide this learning guide to help students, to help guide them as they're doing these challenges, because the entire goal here is to not just be competing for points, but to actually be learning new things and leveling up your skills. We have a very like good program put together to teach students about cybersecurity and to offer students who already have some like base with cybersecurity to offer them the opportunity to get even more free training. Once students complete CyberStart game, so typically it runs from the fall to the spring. We just closed off this last program cycle at the end of April. And so once we tally up all the scores, the top performers are allowed to apply for a $3,000 scholarship that covers the SANS Foundations course and the GFAC certification that goes along with it. And of the students that complete that program, some of them can apply to receive a full or partial scholarship for the SANS undergraduate certificate in applied cybersecurity, which is worth up to $18,000. And these are all certifications and training programs that typically a company would pay for their new hires to take. It's something that usually students do not have access to since it's so expensive, and it's usually something you get after you've been hired. This program allows them to win a scholarship and already have this coming in to when they're job hunting, and it makes them very, very valuable to employers. So all students have to do with Cyber FastTrack is once it opens, they just register for an account and they have immediate access to CyberStart game. And for the entire duration of the program cycle, they can play through the game and work on the challenges. And once it closes, the students who qualify will get access to all of the like training and certification exams. And Cyber FastTrack, which is the college version of this program, is offered to any student who is 18 years or older and is a permanent resident of the US attending a undergraduate accredited US college. And the really great thing with Cyber FastTrack is all you need to participate is a computer and access to the internet. We provide a virtual machines for students to download, but it's completely possible to play through the majority of it without using the virtual machine. So we've made it incredibly accessible. So even if they don't have their own personal device, if they have any access to a computer, all they have to do is go into the browser and log in, and they can get started playing through CyberStart game. And so by the end of this program, students have the foundational skills, training, and certifications they need to secure an entry-level role in the field. And throughout this program, they get to engage with industry experts, professionals, and learn from other students who already have internships or already on their way like into the industry. That is the short version of it, but yeah, that's Cyber FastTrack.
Beautiful. Thank you, Haya. All right. So that's the who, what, where, why. That's the lowdown on the WESIS organization, the reason why we opened up this request for proposals, the reason why we're leaning in on our community colleges to provide us with their needs, and then to incorporate Cyber FastTrack into filling that void there would definitely help bridge the gap for so many. So with that, I'm going to open the floor for some questions. Let me just take a look here. Okay, so the request for proposals is open until July 8th. However, when are we looking to get the Cyber FastTrack incorporated into the classroom? So Haya, maybe that's a question for you, because I know that the 2021-2022 program just wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, when's the next one to start again, if you could just refresh my memory?
Yeah, I don't think we have an exact start date yet, but the program typically runs from October through April. And so it'll start up sometime in the fall, a little bit after the semester has started, most likely. And it will be open for a good, I think, at least 6 to 7 months.
Great. All right. Thank you. And so, Kate, we'll address this question to you. It says here that National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation will fund up to $2,000 for a few community colleges to pilot a program. But what are you seeking in that funding opportunity? I mean, is this just open? Are we looking at innovative and creative ways that community colleges think they need this funding? Are you saying, let's use this funding for, study sessions or for food, or what are the needs of this?
I can tell you what people have used it for so far. One is because this is extra work for the individuals and faculty members who take it on. Some of it is for them. We've had great success over the last couple of years of doing this with pizza parties to get kids engaged who mightn't otherwise be interested, who might not think of themselves as techie, might not be willing to try, but the pizza brings them in like bees to honey. And so, for example, if you set up a cyber club or a WESIS chapter and have pizza, it tends to really help with recruitment. And then what we're looking for out the other end is a report on what worked, what could work better, even more than what worked, what could work better, what the challenges were, what the hurdles were, and how you think, and this is maybe the nub of it, in that we're trying to create a model that could really spread like wildfire across community colleges, and community colleges better than certainly any of us. What supports do we need to put in place? What other pieces would you think would be helpful for you? And then to see it grow nationally in a way that sort of reduces the friction to its growth. And only you will know that. And that's really what we're looking for in this RFP. So spend the $2,000 however it makes the most sense to you. I guess one other caveat might be that obviously your experience and the information back to us will be more potentially more illustrative if you have more than like 2 or 3 kids doing it, right? So we're hoping that as you do it, maybe you're a class of 15 kids might do it. I think one thing, Haya, to mention, and Lynn, is it's not for the faint-hearted. So we had one faculty member this year who did it with introductory IT course. It was a lot for those kids. And next year he's going to do it with, I think, the kids who've been through IT and in their 3rd semester, so that they really have a foundation of some sort. It starts out pretty elementary. I could do the first one. I didn't even try to do the next ones. Starts out pretty elementary, but it's got a kind of steep learning curve higher, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just something to think about too.
I will say, we did I've done a few feedback surveys, like with clubs that we worked for, and we asked them, like, if we were to provide you funding, like, what would you use it for? And I saw some really good ideas there with some practices that I know my club does this, which is like subsidizing membership fees. And so it would be like paying for like a WESIS fee for like your students, or paying for like a Hack the Box subscription or things like that. That is a potential way to use the money. I saw paying for like certification exams. One thing that like we do here is we have our club meets to learn about, I think it's like the Red Hat program. And then at the end of the year, students that have like stuck with this study group will actually get to take that certification exam for free because the club will pay for it. And so those are like another few potential ways for clubs to use this money.
Beautiful. So we have a question that came in, and the one thing that I do want to mention here is that National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation is funding this, and it's partnering with WESIS. And WESIS is an organization that mission is to recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity. But we're not a women's only organization. We have men, women, allies, and advocates. So when we're partnering with this, we're doing this as just bringing the community together for the community colleges. We're not saying this is a women's only event. This is for you as a community college faculty to institutionalize and incorporate into your classroom, your coursework, your cybersecurity club, however you think how you would be innovative and creative and thinking outside of the box, utilizing this extra funding, utilizing Cyber FastTrack and the assistance of WESIS along the way. So we're just the catalyst, the community that's kind of bringing it all together. So there is a question here about setting up a community college cyber club. And so WESIS does have student chapters, and part of our funding model and part of our budgeting each and every year is to fund these student chapters. Right now we have 160 student chapters. We just got funded by Microsoft Philanthropies in increasing that number to 25 more student chapters in 23 more countries. So by the end of this year, and we'll continue to do that with ongoing funding. And so we're growing strong in our student chapter area. Haya was brought into WESIS through a student chapter herself. So WESIS has a funding structure where we give $500 seed funding for a student chapter to get started. It takes a faculty advisor or faculty and a president, a student president, to join, and then you receive the seed funding. You receive a box of swag like tchotchkes, stickers and buttons and giveaways. You also, the student chapter president automatically qualifies for a WESIS 2023 scholarship because we want the communities to speak for itself. So we want that student chapter president to come to the WESIS conference, experience that, get new ideas, grow your global community, grow your global sisterhood, and then be able to take all that wealth of knowledge, experience, and interaction network and take it back to the community college and to be able to have that learned experience, be able to grow and engage more on your campus. So it's all about the power of community and creating these inclusive spaces. So WESIS has that. And then there's other cybersecurity club opportunities that are on campuses as well. So if you don't have one already, you're welcome to start a WESIS student chapter. Go to wesis.org under initiatives. There's student chapters there, and it has everything that you need. We have student chapter leads, Dr. Vitaly Ford, Dr. Pauline Mosley. They will take the conversation from there. So that's a little bit about that student chapter type of thing. And then the cyber clubs, the other cyber club opportunities would just be whatever your campus has to offer. And Hayuk, do you have something to share?
Yeah, if you actually go onto Cyber FastTrack's website, you'll see that we are starting up a little program called Cyber Collegiate, where we're trying to build a network of cybersecurity clubs across the US, and so that we can provide them resources and a larger community for them to interact with each other. And so if you sign up there, you can actually receive a little like how to start a cyber club kit that we've put together. And it's got everything from like email templates, like what do I say to like a professor to get them to like sponsor this club, to like how do I recruit members and stuff like that. So that's another great free resource out there for starting up a club at your local college.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. So you could even utilize that. You could even combine that, like those resources and then the funding with the National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation for this Mobilize program. And then the funding through WESIS, the $500 seed funding and ongoing funding for a WESIS student chapter. I mean, look at all the different ways and opportunities. So we hope that the community is excited about the partnership that we have with NCSF, about the partnership that we have with SANS Institute, about the opportunities that we want to share with others, and about the request for proposals. So I believe I've answered all the questions that have come in. Is there any final thoughts that Kate, Haya, that you would like to leave our audience with today?
Just that we are very much looking forward to working with you and developing this whole new model, and to see what we can learn from you all. Appreciate it very much, the time.
Beautiful. Thank you. And then Haya?
Yeah, I would say I'm really looking forward to the proposals. Whenever we get any feedback from the colleges, there's always something so unique or always something new that we haven't thought of. And so please, 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 if you have something, put forward a proposal. And the only other thing is for people who are trying to start up these programs and start up these clubs is you'd be surprised by how many people you'll find that are interested in cybersecurity, because like Kate mentioned, it's not just people in tech or in engineering, it's people with backgrounds in music or linguistics or psychology. So definitely, if you're considering it, give it a go.
I love it. Thank you, Haya. Thank you, Kate. There is one more question that came in. Does faculty have oversight of the student performance in Cyber FastTrack? That's something I really don't know. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Cyber FastTrack, once you're in the CyberCert game, you can form like a group on there. And so what it lets you do is it tracks everyone's progress. So you can see like who's done like what challenges, and how many like points they've earned. And so that is like, I think the only way we currently have for faculty to oversee it. But yeah.
Well, that question, this is not the first time we've heard that question, and it's a good question. And we are working with the folks who developed the game and who handle all the registrations to make it more, make the student activity and performance more available to the teacher. Right now you can tell who's active, how long they've been active, and all of that. If you form a group, as Haya said.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. It was an informal, informational session about a great program that we're piloting thanks to National Cybersecurity Scholarship Foundation, thanks to Sands Institute with the Cyber FastTrack, and then thanks to you all for sharing a part of your afternoon with us. We appreciate your time and attention. Being a part of the WeSys community is so meaningful and impactful to so many, and most importantly, impactful to the security of ourselves, of you, to our communities we care about, to the companies that we work for, and the future that we want to remain secure. So thank you for your time, your attention, and devoting this half hour to learn more about this program. So we look forward to hearing from you all. And with that, it's a wrap. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, Haya.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.